Welcome to the 251st episode of News Dump and also Sports Dump.
A crossover.
It's a crossover.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and also discuss sports. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz and Chronicle sports editor Dylan number 1, Dylan Wilhelm. And we're joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, The Roof Doctor, Goebel Septic, AmeriCool Heating and Cooling, and Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, and also the Farm Store.
Got it.
We're looking like a NASCAR over here.
Jesus. I don't know if we're going to get to all of our ad reads. We'll just kind of throw them out as we see fit.
You did mention their names.
Yeah, that's probably close enough. Do you guys have any preambles?
No, I just would like to offer apologies for Dylan number 2. He was conscripted into news duty and led our Chronicle debate coverage as the lead reporter last evening. So he's up there working on that and didn't have time for the podcast. And I haven't made time for the news dump. So that's how you get this mashup of all of us together, all of us at once.
We've all been kind of busy, you know. There's a lot going on. Dylan is running a 1.5 man sports crew at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, Zach is
Zach's
out
on leave and
on leave. So, all right, here we go. We'll see how this goes. First news item. Former Morton Police Chief Roger Morningstar takes plea deal, will serve no time in jail. Just call him guilty, Roger Morningstar.
I thought you were going to skip the song.
I thought about it, but, you know, it's just too good to pass
That would have been
up.
a solid number 2 track for your first LP
I
whenever
could
it comes
totally
out.
write an entire...
I still sing
There's a lot of
Kayak
material.
Man to myself in the car sometimes.
It's 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. It was a banger.
It's worth noting that Ridley did win a WNPA award for her Kayak Man coverage.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
I think some of the Slack profile pictures are still the kayak man.
Most of them are Kayak Man.
That was a transformational moment for our newsroom.
It was the biggest zeitgeist moment in the newsroom since Bain took over back in 2012.
Some say he never left. Just see my profile picture.
So Roger Morningstar, former beacon of hope for the Lewis County Republican Party and close personal friend of every elected Republican in the county, will not go to jail over misusing the town credit cards to buy multi-level marketing scheme products. Is he still up for under investigation for all the other stuff?
No, I mean, this isn't editorializing to say he resigned in disgrace rather than be fired from his position for a lot of the other stuff. This was the only criminal charges for this particular case that we're aware of. There could be in other rulings in lawsuits in federal court and elsewhere from former employees who have filed suit. So probably not the last we've heard of Morton Police Chief Roger Morningstar.
Former police chief.
Yeah, that was an edit that we went through on the table too. I thought disgraced should be used there because you don't get to use it very often because someone has not so clearly disgraced themselves. Usually there's some amount of concern that you'd be editorializing by using that, but I don't think so in this case.
I think he's earned the disgraced
I think
title.
so too. It's not as though he can go back and be a police officer anywhere else now.
It's a real shame, you know. Cancel culture comes for another one of our heroes. Before accepting the sentencing recommendation offered by the state and the defense, Judge Paul Strophe acknowledged Morningstar's lack of criminal history and service to the community as a prior police chief. To this I say, Your Honor. But he indicated that Morningstar could still be held to account for the financial aspects of the case, as well as, it's not in the story, but it's implied, the other things as well. And this is my favorite part. The Chronicle previously reported that Morningstar resigned in June of 2023 after failing a polygraph examination pertaining to internal investigations of sexual harassment, misused public funds, and untruthful statements made on his department application.
Again, that's just kind of scraping the surface of the issues that the public has had with Morningstar out there. This particular case, though, is about using a city credit card for what you would call a pyramid scheme, what many would call a pyramid scheme, what I call an opportunity, boys. You want in $10 now, you're going to get $100 later.
No jail time.
It was a relatively small amount of money that he took with the card, like $99, $100 or something. The idea, though, is, it's an offense by a public official. We've seen the book get thrown at people who take not so much money in the past. So I think some disappointment there. On the other hand, the city of Morton also has a person accused of stealing like $1 million over 10 years. Not accused, they've pleaded guilty. And this was wrapped up in that. But the other person was not the the duly appointed police chief of the city. It was the clerk.
So he was not. There was no fine involved in this, was there?
Not that was discussed in court that I'm aware of. Anyways, Jacob Farmer, our crime reporter, wrote this one up, and it more or less deals with just this case. Morningstar is one of those guys that you get to where if you're writing about him regularly, it can get real easy to have a story that should be about 700, 800 words that suddenly is 1,800 because you're trying to pull in all of the misdeeds, accusations, and such. This is more of a direct handling of just this day in court.
I was just curious if he was going to try to pay his restitution in like essential oils or something of that nature.
Oh boy, if essential oils were a currency, Aaron, you're sitting across from a rich man because Mrs. Schwartz has dabbled.
I'm liquid, baby. No, literally.
Oh, there was a time when there wasn't an ailment in my household that could not be solved with essential oils.
So that's the only real news item I've got. The other thing I wanted to cover on the news side of this news dump is how were the Chronicle debates last night, and how did they differ from what the chamber debates were today?
Yeah, so you had a whole set of candidates, Centralia, Chehalis City Councilors, Port of Centralia Commissioner candidates, that did 2 debates within 12 hours of each other. The Chronicles debate, I would say, was a little more open and freewheeling. Probably.
Oh, you don't say. I've seen the opinion page.
It'd probably be some criticism from a candidate or two. I don't think we've ever had a debate, period, of any sort where there wasn't some sort of complaint. But I think the aspect where we allowed the audience to ask unfiltered questions brought more issues to light than maybe the chamber debate did.
You really just opened it up to the comments section?
I mean, we did the same thing last year in the first round of debates we did with a congressional race in there, U.S. attorneys in there, legislature, so higher profile races, and there were some spicy questions asked, but I don't think that any topic wasn't something that would be of use to a voter who was trying to make their determination. It was specifically the Port of Centralia commissioner race that got, I'd say, confrontational, created some friction. Any other words you want to use?
What were some of the standout questions asked by the
audience?
Well,
let me back up first, because our moderators, like we announced before, were Zach Eckstein, the Lewis County Democrats chair, and Greg Rohr, the Lewis County Republicans chair. And I thought that they did a remarkable job. They worked together before and obviously during the debate. Rubes was specifically saying he was kind of inspired to see them working shoulder to shoulder.
That's nice.
Massaging the questions, moving stuff around. They kept the debate moving the whole time. More or less kept all the rules enforced. And I thought it was, this day and age, as people say. But watching it, I really was kind of inspired to see the chairs of opposite political parties getting along. They were duking it out on our opinion page on Thursday and Saturday about the initiatives issue, both of them taking very strong stances.
I read some of those takes, yes.
Yeah, but I thought it was nice that they could do that. They could read each other's views. Some of them were strongly worded and critical of each other, and then just show up in public and shake hands, smile, have a great night, and kind of, pull our event out for us. I thought it was wonderful. Your question, though, I'm sorry. What did you ask?
Yeah, what were some of the highlights from questions thrown out by the audience?
I think the questions that got the most traction were about homelessness and public drug use and that kind of behavior, both in the Chehalis debates and in the Centralia debates, as well as the questions from the audience. There was a lot of other ground covered, too. Obviously, Chehalis annexation is a big topic, so there was a lot of chatter about that. The Port of Centralia race and the City of Centralia races. The moratorium on warehouses and distribution centers was a hot topic.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the Port of Centralia commissioner race, they got into a lot. So I highly suggest you watch the videos. They're up on our Facebook page currently. Once we have articles to go with each race, we'll embed the specific video into each one of those on cronline.com. Probably upload them again, too. But the chamber debate this morning, I thought was wonderful. Cynthia Mudge, executive director over there, did a great job.
Was she the moderator?
She was. There was no questions from the audience. I think there were 2 or 3 questions apiece per race. If their opponent didn't show up, they were given a chance to speak. And it went really well. There's 2 really great resources for voters to help make their decisions.
Okay. Dylan, where are you at on electing things?
Got my Thurston County voters pamphlet in the mail the other day, waiting for my ballot.
Where do you stand on Prop 1?
It's a great question.
You should have said the same place I stand on Prop 2, Eric. I don't know that there is a Prop 2.
What's on Prop 1?
I believe that's the Workers' Bill of Rights. It's in Olympia specifically, so it probably does not apply to Dillon.
Well, I think you are, you if I understand, you will lose your position here if you mention workers' rights. Is that correct?
No, that's not true.
I should probably start reading my Thurston County pamphlet, though. It's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably in there. Yeah. We'll have all our election coverage will be pouring out over the next couple of weeks.
Anything else notable on the news section you want to? I see you got some dogs that are getting brought out by the dad board. They look friendly. What the hell?
Yeah, we had. I'd say today's paper was an excellent edition of the Chronicle, just in the variety of news, quality of news. Also had locals gather in Chehalis to honor unclaimed remains of county residents. That's something Warren McLeod, our coroner, does every year, along with John Pinesco over at the Pioneer Cemetery. So we had that. Obviously, we had Mr. Morningstar, which you read. You know, people say you don't read the paper. Then, 2 dogs declared dangerous after killing dozens of birds. I think it was something like 60 ducks and chickens. If you look at the photos, though, they look like a couple of good boys.
Yeah.
Good boys and gals. They're nice-looking dogs.
What do you want them to do?
I think they're just dogs being dogs. Jacob Moore reported on that at the Dangerous Animal Designation Board, the DAD board, as we're familiar with. I think the dogs will not be put down, and instead they'll just be placed in very secure enclosures. It did spark the usual amount of discussions in the newsroom. People that are new to the DAD board. We were talking about that house out in East County that had like 18 German Shepherds. Do you remember that? A few years back, they were going to arrest a guy, but he had so many German Shepherds. So we wondered, in that scenario, could the sheriff deputize good dogs to get like 35 good dogs to show up with to handle the 18 bad dogs?
I mean, we're seeing that on the federal level now.
Gosh, it's all you see, Aaron.
Well, no, that's obviously not literally on the federal level. There would be a lot more.
I was going to say just a random thing about sports, and you're going to be like, if we ever have another election. Aaron, we're talking about Oakville.
You know, if the Department of Homeland Security was in charge of the DAD board, I can tell you what would happen to those offending dogs.
You know what? Christy Nome can come stand on this roof anytime she likes and look down at the squalor below, assuming you're standing down below.
It'll be me in the chicken suit. Anyway.
The end of that South Park episode.
Mixing a lot of topics here.
We had
mishmash.
We had a meeting of mayors.
Yes, to talk about legislative priorities. There was a chase yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun. I shouldn't have said that. On the scanner, it was
that the
pretty
15-year-old boy?
Yeah.
15-year-old kid?
Yeah. And I was actually very happy on the scanner. You could tell that the deputies that were giving chase here were taking a lot of care in this being a 15-year-old. Like, they kept backing off. They were like, do not get close. We do not want to force something here. They were following him from like 3 or 4 cars back. They did hit the vehicle with stop sticks. This was a 15...
I believe they're called signs.
Stop sticks.
Stop signs.
Stop sticks. They slide them under the tires. They pop your tires. The truck, though, this 15-year-old stole this truck. It doesn't say it was his dad or it was a relative or anything like that, but it was stolen in Centralia. It's a pretty nice truck. It's got like I couldn't tell if that was a Seahawks logo coming out of the side of the truck.
There's a Punisher logo on the back of it.
A Punisher logo on the back. Appropriate.
I can imagine what's going to happen to this boy.
I think the Justice Department or the justice system and the justice system and the familial punishments will probably be doled out. So, but yeah, we got photos of that auto ran over there. Chehalis man faces felony charges after allegedly shooting 2 people in 2023. This case I didn't recall off the top of my head. They're charging 1 of 4 suspects. You can read about that at cronline.com. And then our favorite Thurston County Sheriff, Derek Sanders, gave chase again. Didn't get the person this time, but there was a man who was seen assaulting a woman, forcing her to her car, trying to, and then throwing her on the ground, slamming her on the ground is how it was worded. And he outran Thurston County Sheriff, tribal police, and just Sheriff Sanders, as he does, it just stumbled past him. And so there's a video on Cronline of him giving chase, but there's lots of good stuff.
And nobody chases more criminals than Derek Sanders.
No, I don't think so.
He'd just be out there chasing
It just always too seems to be like at the right place at the right time.
Curious.
I just think he's out patrolling a lot. Like
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
That's maybe.
So yeah, some crime news in there. Lots of soft stuff as well, though. Really happy with today's
Speaking
paper.
of soft stuff, do you want to talk about the opinion page, or maybe just skip to sports?
Oh, what
Nope.
Tales from the takes page? You don't want them?
I've seen about enough out of the takes page.
Fine.
Some real hot takes in there.
But we're going to talk about that column that you said was the best piece of journalism we've had in the newspaper
one that was
in
like
quite some time.
The Constitution.
Everyone can eat shit. Big bag of shit.
Yeah, that one.
That's really not nice. Wayne Fournier worked real hard on let's talk honestly about workers' Bill of Rights and unintended consequences.
I like
that.
reading that. I was wowed that nobody. We're talking about Sean Swope's column, obviously.
Not obviously. You have to say that. Swope wrote the true meaning of church and state, why America was never meant to separate God from government, just to catch everyone up.
I was just wondering, like, has anybody ever tried letting religion rule a country before? I feel like that's never been done before. Maybe we should give it a shot.
Yeah, it's like communism, Aaron. It hasn't been tried the right way.
It's never worked for anyone else, but maybe it'll work for us.
It's just not done correctly. Now, I reiterate that our opinion pages are open to virtually anyone for a letter to the editor. And if you feel like you've got a compelling case for an op-ed, be it because you're a public elected official or you hold a position or you just are personally educated on a topic, go ahead and email me, eschwartz@cronline.com or news@cronline.com. And chances are we're going to find a spot for it on the opinion page. Because I had an individual, I won't say exactly who it was, that wasn't really thrilled that Zach Eckstein had a column that appears in the Chronicle. And I had a hard time accepting that criticism because it's like we have a full slate of people who conservative folks who regularly submit them. Zach's kind of our Zach and Wayne are the two Democrats that routinely write for the paper. But I don't want anyone to think that their political stance or beliefs make them ineligible for our opinion page. Because they are open all the time. And I haven't had a time where I've run out of space. We can always just add a third opinion page if we needed to.
Sure, yeah.
But there's your Tales for the Takes page. Hater of God.
Can we talk about sports now? Something normal?
Hold on, one more. Whoa. We got to do our People's Champion of the Week.
Yeah, is it the Dangerous Dogs?
No, it's going to be the Murphys. On Alaska Apple Harvest, Grand Marshals Pete and Kathy. Brian Mickey finished out his summer series of Grand Marshals, and I thought that was a good one. And since this is a abbreviated news dump, then that should do it. No Facebook comments of the week.
Are you sure? There's
Unless
some
you
bangers out
unless
there.
you got one.
I don't have any. I have one I sent you, but I don't think we should read that on the...
No, please, no.
All right.
Is that the transition?
Changing gears to Sports Dump.
Pop.
Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast. We already read the sponsors. There's some breaking news. I didn't know. I didn't look at any of the football scores, and I was telling Dylan when he walked in, any of, Friday night's games, I didn't do the sports pages for Tuesday. And I was surprised that Adna beat Napavine 28-12.
They did 6 days ago. They did.
Wow. Breaking.
So you're like somehow getting your news later than our print subscribers.
Yes, they are better informed than me at this point.
Well, they are anyways, but especially so.
I wish I would have known that before I made my grid picks. But
I need to pick Napavine last week. I didn't even see that. Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last nine game losing streak against Adna?
When was
Napavine?
the last time Napavine had this record? Does anyone know?
Oh, it's been
Not
20
since
years at least.
Faye. Yeah. Was it 06 was Faye's first year, I believe?
06 or 07. And then 08, like they were winning. They won the state championship in 08. So
as a passive follower, did they change anything? Like, was there is it just new kids and better competition, or was there like something that they changed in their offense or their scheme?
I think they just lost some seniors from last year, and then they played a couple really good. Like they played Montesano. I'm trying to think.
That's forgivable.
Yeah, they did a couple of those early losses. It's like, all right.
They played La Center too. La
Yeah.
Center's also very, very good.
And
Adna is very, very good now.
So yeah.
And I believe Grady Wilson is still injured. He
Gotcha.
got hurt the first drive against Monty, and that you could tell
That's
they
their
kind of really
quarterback.
and they're one of their better defensive players,
Got it.
linebacker. You could tell that kind of just took the air out of the sideline pretty quickly. And I don't know when he'll be back, if at all.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's just one of those unfortunate years that happens sometimes. Like that span in Forks where you were on the starting line for a while.
Yeah, that time. I was 165 pounds in high school. I played center
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
for Bob Jensen of
We're just running
Montesano.
screens.
And you know what
Terry
happened?
It's Terry Jensen you
I'm
play.
sorry.
We're gonna pull
I'm
on
sorry.
every play.
I should have known Terry Jensen. But Terry Jensen fled my when I went from sophomore to junior year because I think he saw that we were about to have one of them Napa Vine years, if you know what I mean. And we did.
All right, shall we go straight to any other big surprises from last week?
from
WFS
last week?
scored 43 unanswered points to
Yeah.
56-21
They
against
pulled
Aberdeen.
out, just to quickly touch on that one, it's 21-13 Aberdeen. And it's like, I don't mean this to throw shade at any of the schools that we cover, but it was very nice to see two offenses not just have a plan and a scheme, but they were executing it extremely well, like both offenses. And on the last play of the first half, Dan Hill goes, the reverse flea flicker we've been working on for a week, yeah, run it. And it scores a touchdown, and then they put up 28 in the third. And that offense is, that week one game against North Kitsap was the fluke. I think Wyatt Hoffman is insane for a sophomore. He's at 1,500 total yards now already.
That's
even,
pretty good.
Even with the poor performance week one, I think they'd admit it was poor. So, yeah.
All right, yeah, Black Hills beat Centralia big. Tumwater beat Union big. This podcast brought to you by Global Septic. Visit them at goebelseptic.com or call them at 360-736-2167. Let's just jump into this week's games. Where are grid picks? Well, before we get to grid picks, Dylan, what's the game of the week? Sponsored by the Farm Store?
The Farm Store. We're going 8-man. Oakville at Winlock.
Why are you like this?
Look at this week's slate.
Have we even unpacked their decision to go to
No,
Brooklyn
we
to
haven't.
cover Oakville?
It was,
That
you
worked
guys,
out
You sent a
because-
reporter and photographer all the way to Brooklyn to cover Wahkiakum at Oakville North
I bet
River.
you neither one of this you are going to believe me. That was not my idea.
And they were
but it
down
worked
50
out.
at
Sports
halftime.
editor, sir.
It worked out because the game was not close, and they were still able to get back and get to Centralia tonight. Was that 2 weeks ago at this point now?
So this is let me put this in terms so you can understand for modern times. This is like Donald Trump coming out and just something Hegseth decided, and him just being like, "I did not decide this. It's on your
Am I
doorstep,
Donald Trump
sir."
in this scenario? I don't like this comparison.
Didn't you get a call from one of our boys out in Brooklyn, and they could only reach you by satellite connection?
I tried to text Zach, and it would not go through. I was like, well, whatever happens, happens, and they'll get back when they get back, hopefully.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I do like that we went to Brooklyn for once. I don't think we've ever gone to Brooklyn for
Not
a
for
game.
We've never had a game in Brooklyn.
It's like,
Yeah.
why is this game at 4 p.m.? And
Yeah, so
it's like they don't have lights out there, probably. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get going.
No lights, no cell phones.
So at least it was a decisive game.
It's like Rube last week coming back from Pennsylvania. He's like, yeah, I ended up behind a horse and buggy. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to pass it or not. It's like Amish country.
Oh gosh, Rube's
Nothing
just sweating bullets.
They're going to take me in. All right, this week's grid picks games. First up, WF West at Battleground. Is Battleground any good?
I think so. I think they were. I'm definitely going to get this wrong. I want to say 3-2.
Ah, the only game I missed last week was Napa Vine Adna. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, last week was pretty chalk. I
Yeah.
think nobody had more than 2 losses except Chad, and he only had 4.
Yeah.
Good pick
Zach,
here.
Zach missed 2. Everybody else just missed 1. All right. WF West at Battleground. Everybody's got WF West. Schwartz, who are you taking?
Well, I feel like I gotta go with WF West as well.
Well, you worked in Battleground for a
No,
while.
I know. We have a newspaper there, The Reflector. I was trying to see if we covered their football game last week, but it looks like we covered Woodland instead. The week before that, we covered Battleground suffering its first loss of the season to Cascade Christian. Prior to that, they beat Prairie 41-6. They're pretty good. You know what? Battleground. Going Battleground.
Bold. Centralia at Aberdeen. Everybody's got Aberdeen except Chad.
How bold are we feeling here?
I'm voting Centralia.
voting Centralia?
Anytime I get a chance on grid picks, be it on this podcast or in print, I'm going Centralia.
All right. Everybody else has gone Aberdeen
They're
except
going to
Chad.
wrestle that Grit City title from Unalaska eventually. Just wait, you'll see.
Tumwater at Black Hills.
Oh,
the
how bold are
Pioneer
you
Bowl. Are you feeling bold? Oh, Chad went Black Hills. Interesting.
Yeah, I think we're conditioned that Chad is going to choose the hometown team, and when we have two hometown teams, he's going to go with the underdog.
Okay.
That's generally how that goes.
Is that how the algorithm is making his picks?
Tom Water, please. I'll take that one.
Rochester at Kings. Zach went Kings. Ridley went Kings. Everybody else went Rochester.
I'm going Rochester too. They also did really well in their homecoming this week, right?
They won 62-8.
Yeah,
over Alma.
Pretty good.
They've been looking power. They've got several really good running
Yeah,
backs.
it's Maddox Rogers, Sander Peterman, Ethan Rodriguez. They combined for like 440 yards.
Are they just
all
running
three
the
scored
rock
two.
every time?
Yeah, they scored 2 touchdowns
No threat
each.
they're going to pass the ball.
No shot.
Gotcha.
It's good old, we're going to run the ball down your throat, and you can't stop it. And most of the time, that's true.
When do we have Rochester Tenino?
Rochester Tenino, I believe, is week 8.
Okay.
Along with WF West Tumwater.
We're gonna staff.
Or is that
both
the
of
same
those,
week
right?
as...
I feel like that's.
it
they
might be
always
Swamp
play-
Cup week, actually.
Yeah, Swamp Cup week.
If I have any sway in the sports department, I'd really like to see Tenino Rochester covered. That Scatter Creek
absolutely.
showdown.
I'm just
Okay.
trying to think.
Shore up our
To
stranglehold.
be clear, you
on
don't have any
South
pull in the
Thursday.
sports department.
It is on the 20... So it's the same week as WF West Tumwater. So those
Okay.
will probably be the 2 games that week.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same week as Ani Toledo. We'll figure something out. Those might be
Ooh,
the 3.
yeah, that's
It's
3
just
good
like
games.
last year.
Oh,
Week
boy.
8 has all the good games on paper, and hopefully they're closer than they
Man,
were
we got
last
the
year.
resources though. We got the people. As
Yeah,
long as they're
you got some
working,
dudes.
we'll be all right. And
Forks-
hopefully
Zach
that's
will be
not
back.
The,
So
that's the week
yeah.
Otto and Ridley are both gone. That'll be a disaster.
is Otto gone that week too?
No, their absences only overlap by one day, and it's a Monday. So
Gotcha.
Forks at Adna. Everybody went Adna.
I'm also going Forks.
Okay. Bold.
No, I'm going Adna.
Raymond South Bend at Napavine. Everybody's got Napavine. Will this be Napavine's first home win of the season?
I got Raymond South Bend.
Yes.
No. Those Napavine boys helped us move. I got Napavine.
All right. Cascade Christian at Onalaska. Dylan went Ani. Zach and I went Cascade Christian. Other Dylan, also both Dylans went Ani. And Ridley and Chad went Ani. Schwartz.
What's the temp supposed to be looking like on Friday night in Onalaska?
Doesn't
Anybody-
matter. They're
anybody
running
know?
it 50 times.
Oh, these aren't good passing conditions. Oh, no.
I'm going on Alaska.
Okay. Mossy Rock at Tootle Lake. Everybody's got Tootle except Chad.
I'll stand with my brother Chad and go Mossy Rock on that one.
What's Tootle Lake's record look like? They are 3-2 and 0-1 in league. Mossy Rock is 1-3, technically ahead of them in the stand. Well, why are they ahead of them in the standings?
if that's the WIA standings,
Well, they're both
We-
0-1 in league.
we created our own spreadsheet to track standings because the WIA website, as improved as it is, as opposed to a couple years ago, it still has its moments.
If you guys want to start an entire podcast where we just bash on the WIA, I would like a seat at that
Oh
table.
my goodness. It'd be 3 hours long, and it would be Zach for 2.5.
I
Just rambling.
I'd take some as well.
Morton White Pass at Bellevue Christian. Zach went Bellevue Christian. Everybody else went Morton White Pass. What does Zach know?
Yeah, what does he know? That's what's asking.
I have no idea. Schwartz, what are you going Morton White Pass?
Yeah, Morton White Pass.
Zach bassed himself last week for taking White Salmon over Rainier. He's like, oh, man, I was just trying to be different. And then I look this week, and he's taking Bellevue Christian over. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. I'm not here to knock on Bellevue Christian. I don't really know anything about him, but
You're here to knock on Zach.
Yeah. Rainier at Toledo. Everybody's got Toledo. Toledo good. Are they number 1 in the RPI? They're up there. Maybe they're like 3.
I don't know.
I saw their volleyball team was undefeated through like 7 games.
Not anymore.
I know they lost to Onalaska.
Yeah, they were 10-0. though.
Ah, see,
Yeah.
I read the paper.
Good at you.
Yeah.
Ilwaco at Peel-Willamette Valley. Is this in Menlo or PL? Probably
Menlo.
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 Everybody's got Peel-Willamette Valley. Schwartz.
PWV.
Oakville at Winlock. Game of the week.
Game of the
Game of the week.
Somehow.
Hit the button.
What a,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why do you hate Oakville and Winlock so
I
much?
don't hate Oakville and Winlock.
That's a good game, isn't it?
Cody
Is it?
says his favorite game he ever covered in his couple years here was an 8-man game. It wasn't Oakville Winlock specifically. I don't even remember who Oakville
Was it
playing.
Oakville against State Def?
But he he came back.
Why would Cody enjoy that?
Cody was glowing. He looked like a new man. He was like, that was awesome.
Yeah, Cody.
No stands, just lawn chairs, and 700 total yards of offense.
Cody won like 5 first place WNPA awards. Dylan here had like 3, 4, something like that.
Wow.
Dylan swept the entire sports.
Congratulations.
Sports news story category.
Wow. A lot of
That was
entries.
a pleasant surprise.
A lot of hardware, Aaron. A lot of hardware.
I guess so. Dylan, where can everybody follow along on social media for this weekend's games? And who's covering what?
Roop will be at Game of the Week in Winlock. He will be tweeting service pending from the Cronline Sports account.
Love to hear that.
I will be at Cascade Christian Ani, DM Wilhelm225 on Twitter. And we'll also have photos from, I'm thinking, Rainier Toledo. Yeah. So.
All right. This Game of the Week is brought to you by The Farm Store. Visit ChehalisFarmStore.com or check them out right there in Chehalis, kind of by the future former site of Dairy Gold. Next to, what road's that on? Main Street?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is Main. Yeah, check out The Farm Store. They're great. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we get out of here?
No, just thank you to all our sponsors that you listed off top. Maybe you could list them all again.
Brought to you by The Roof Doctor. I'm blanking on all of
Chehalis
them.
Outfitters. I'll give you time to catch up. Aaron and I are gonna be the what would you call it? The hosts of the Chehalis Outfitters
announcers
fashion show in November.
Yeah.
If you're willing to come and strap on some Carhartts, I think you could walk the runway.
Could we get Zach to
We
walk
gotta
us?
get Zach. We gotta get
Throw
Zach.
him in a pair of waders.
I like it.
Just waders and a gun.
No gun. No gun. No gun for Zach. I won't allow it.
Can we bring Cody back?
Of course.
Yeah. Put that boy in something. Some flannel.
Yeah.
All right.
Go
So
Avs.
the rest, go Mariners.
Good luck. You got to beat Scoop for a fourth time. I'm sure this will go well. Let's
Yeah,
go Mariners.
fine. All right, we'll close it out there. We'll be back next week, hopefully with 2 real episodes.